I am talking to, interacting with, standing next to, watching multimillionaires and billionaires all day long.
Yeah.
And so many of them are not happy. So I say to, when I speak to classes and I speak to players, like I recently spoke to a college team, I said, success is when you can get to a spot where you can choose happiness over money. You can't always do that. Sometimes you have to take care of your debts. Sometimes you have to take care of your family or whatever. But there are so many people in the NBA who are so wealthy, who are so unhappy. And so there's so much unhappiness in the league. The people who are in the best position are those who are happy, which is again why I say, just because you don't win a ring doesn't mean you had a bad year. Are you happy? Can you be happy? And so seriously, those three things, almost in that order, specifically the happiness part, because there are so many people in this world that you and I operate in. You are in the NBA. I am on the edge of the NBA. It is a world that is filled with excess, right?
Yeah.
Excess everything. But so many people are unhappy.
No, I would say one thing. One of the things, and people, and I'm positive, always with good energy. And I always like, my goal is to just to have this glow, right? This glow, like, hey, nothing can stop me. I'm always happy. I'm always, in a good mood, but not in a good mood and stuff like that, but just always my aura and my energy, to be like that. But the things you said are so important, because it's a lot of people who, a lot of people are watching this that want to be in the NBA, they want to be in sports, they want to be, and to them it's all about the nice stuff. They don't see the struggle which you're talking about, right? The losses in the media, the losses in basketball, the losses outside of it, and saying like, oh, okay, yeah, but they're getting paid so much money, or this guy he's a owner, he has a club, like they want to win. Everybody wants to win. Everybody wants to look good, And I think this is the other thing that a lot of people are struggling with, but now it's getting better and better, because now we get to like dissect and talk about it, and this is, they identify it, and once they identify it, you can address it as well. Man, okay, I wanted, it's time to to close the show on the podcast, but before I do that, I really want to ask you, and this doesn't have to do with basketball, doesn't have to do with anything on sports. What is the top 3 movies that you watch and make you cry?
Make me cry. The movie Major League.
Major League.
You don't know that movie?
I don't watch Major League before. Is it the movie with?
I don't know if I would cry if I watched it today, but I cried many times when I watched it as a young person, because it's about baseball, and the team wins in the end. My hometown team.
Is Major League the one?
It's about the Cleveland Indians, which was my team growing up. Now they're the Guardians, but they win. They don't win the championship, but they win in the end. They beat the Yankees. It's so hard to beat the Yankees that they make a movie about it if you beat them one time. But you said earlier, I don't cry in this, but you said earlier you like The Godfather.
Yeah,
that's an amazing movie. That movie, it was 30 years old when I first saw it, but that's an amazing movie.
That movie, I think like everybody has it wrong. Like everybody has the whole aspect, like, oh, it's Italian and about the mob and blah blah blah. No. It's actually about a guy who has no effing clue about what's going on, and takes responsibility. If you watch the first one to the second one to the third one, right? And comes in and says, okay, I have to do this for the family.
Yeah, it's about family.
That's what I keep. It's about family. And then all of a sudden he becomes this guy who keeps making tough decisions, not because he likes it. This is not, because sometimes people will come, because at the same era, I think maybe Scarface came out maybe a little bit later, or the same era, kind of era. But like this movie is different, because in this movie he's actually portraying and saying like, hey, I'm still making tough decisions because of the family, because of who I am, not because I want to, or because it's because I have to, and I keep doing this. It's a lot of people who don't understand this, and I understand this as a big brother, as things I've done in my life and proved it. Not just say it. Other people can say like whatever they want to say. Like, no, I've proved it and saying like, hey, I'm willing to do this for my family, and I'm willing to take this loss, and like, whatever, and whatever they want to say, they say it. Or like, I've done this before, so that's what I keep from that movie. That's why I'm like, this is kind of the substance of it.
I think I recently watched The Lion King with my son, and that'll get you a little misty eyed, right?
You want to hear something that's going to throw you off? So I saw this online now. I don't know if it's true, but I saw this online, and this would be so messed up if it's true. So supposedly, it's the scene, where Scar is holding Mufasa and Mufasa falls down,
Yeah, yeah.
etc. So now they're saying they're gonna come out with the other versions of it, showing the origin of Scar and what actually happened.
Yeah.
That Scar was actually the son, and that Mufasa was adopted, supposedly, and while Mufasa was adopted, was Scar was his right to be, the leader.
You're gonna make
etc.
Scar a sympathetic character.
Yeah, they're gonna make Scar the character, and all this. I was like, you gotta be joking right now.
This
My
is
whole
what happened.
life.
Do you know the play that's the famous musical Wicked? You didn't even know that play at all. It's been on Broadway in London for 20 years. You saw The Wizard of Oz?
Yes.
That show, Wicked, is about how the Wicked Witch of the West really wasn't bad, and that she was really a good person. She got tricked into, I don't know the whole story, but anyway, that's the same.
Another
It's the
perspective.
same concept.
I love the same
Yeah,
concept and
yes.
all this, and he was adopted, and now he was supposed to be the leader, etc. And then Mufasa came, and then his dad was telling him in the movie. Supposedly, his dad is telling him like, "No, we don't want Mufasa with us. We don't want him with us." And Scott is advocating and saying, "No, he doesn't have anybody," and blah blah blah. And then this happened, and then Mufasa became this guy.
Well,
and
the
then-
story of the lion is a sad story. The life cycle of a lion is a sad story.
Tell me.
Well, what happens with lions is, you grow up, and then if you're the male, you have to try to like kill your brother or your father to take over the pride.
Yeah.
And then like when that happens, if you don't kill them, like if you get too old or whatever, they just push you out of the pride, and you're too old and you can't hunt or whatever, or you're injured or whatever, and then you're on your own, and like
You just perish then, basically.
yes, you get like the story of the lion is a brutal story. It's kind of like the story of the NBA. I know that this is.
Oh, I love how
Have
we
you ever been
go
on,
back to the.
Have you ever been on the safari?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, if you ever go on safari and you see the way lions are, like there's a pride, and the lionesses like do the hunting.
Okay.
They do the hunting but there's, like if you go see a pride of lions, like, and you see the alpha male who's in charge, like there's like, and their cubs, like their sons, like someday their sons will rise up and push out the father. Like that's going to happen, which is why sometimes they kill them
Yes.
if they're boys. But like it is a sad story. And so I always think of this one time, because this was going on while I was covering the Miami Heat. And this also made me think of like Shaq and Kobe. So like I remember one time, the first time I ever went on safari, we went and I saw this pride of lions. And this pride of lions was unusual. It had two heads. There were two brothers. They were the heads of the pride. And this was very unusual. Typically there would only be one. And so the people who were there, who worked the savannah, I remember it was in South Africa.
Yeah.
And this guy, his name was Twice. He was our guide. He'd say,
Twice?
He'd say twice, 2 times. That's what he'd say. Anyway, I said to him, this is unusual. There would be two lions. And he goes, yeah. He goes, I go, will this last? Can they rule together? Can they rule the pride together? Or will one turn on the other? He goes, I don't know. We'll see. It could go either way. Maybe they'll rule for many years. Maybe one will turn on the other and push the other one out. And I think of this all the time in the NBA, because an NBA team in a lot of ways like a pride of lions.
And then you give the example of Shaq and Kobe.
I was thinking about Shaq and Kobe, and I was thinking about LeBron and Wade, and I was thinking about LeBron and Kyrie. Like this is when I was doing this. Like like in a lot of ways, to be a great NBA team, you have to have like that one star, right? And everybody supports them.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I agree. But I think, to me, this is why I love the Spurs. I don't know how we would end up again with basketball, but we did. This is why I love the Spurs, just because of, obviously, Tim Duncan. I don't need to say it. I mean, we all know. But at the same time, Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, I don't think any of them didn't think they were I think they all thought they are the leader, but at the same time they all thought like I need to get him where I need to get him, and he needs to get me where I need to be.
But it did have a bit of a sad thing with Kawhi. Like, he
Yeah, Kawhi was different.
right?
Kawhi was
Like
different.
it could, that's what I'm saying. Like it's
which
always,
which is crazy to me. This is the example I give. Sometimes I'll do like mentoring, depending on the schedule and stuff. Like I'll do mentoring to some kids in the NBA and etc. And they will say like, "Oh, I want to come to the league." And the first thing I say, let's work out. And they work out and they start like working on the shooting and working on the not they don't work on the body, they don't work on the attitude, no nothing. And I go like, guys, I don't know. And they go like, why? I said because you're not looking at the cycle in the NBA. What you're looking at is now. It's like the young kids but you're not looking at the guys who've stayed and actually played. And they go like, what do you mean? I said, for instance, what did they do when they first got in? Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler used to be the defender for Derrick Rose, Taj Gibson, Joakim Noah, all these guys. He used to be like, hey, young blood, go defend for us. Go stop these guys so we can score, blah, 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 blah. Now he's Jimmy Butler, right? Kawhi Leonard. Who was Kawhi Leonard? It was like, hey, go stop Braun from scoring for us to do this, to do this, to do this. Who is not Kawhi? Kawhi Leonard now all of a sudden is one of the best two-way players in that league. So I don't think they see the progression. They just see like, oh, look at this guy shoot from 20 feet. Great. But look at the consistent guys who have built their way up into this league. That's one tier. Look at the other guys who came here for a niche and know exactly what they are. Wesley Matthews, Jay Crowder, all these guys who by the way, they all went to Marquette, no pun intended, all of them went to Marquette, but I'm saying it's a thing. Marquette produces top of guys, right? So about playing defense in Nice, because it's the metrics of people, right? They go and they say, okay, Nick and Kevin, you both can shoot, but Kevin is a better shooter. You both can defend, but Nick is a better defender. You both can, let's say, dribble, but Nick is a better let's say, ball handler. You both can communicate in the locker room, but Nick is a better communicator. So they will pick Nick. They will. It doesn't matter how you shoot. It doesn't matter how you score. It just doesn't, because it's all about the group. That's what we need. It's all about the group, and quote unquote, it's all about the group. The only time it's not all about the group is when they're about to pick a superstar. Everybody else, it's all about the group. Trust me. We don't need you to score 25. We got Dame. We got somebody who can score 30. We be straight. We have two guys who can score 65. Actually, two, not 5 team. 2 guys. See it right there.
Right. That's
you
right.
know what I mean.
Yeah.
So, or they'll be like, oh yeah, I'm a big, I can shoot. I'm like, we already have Brook Lopez. Show me something. Can you have young legs? Can you move around? Can you block shots? Can you get the rebound and push it and go like pick Dame on the half court, or pick or Giannis? You defend it. You cover Giannis's back if he's out in the perimeter. All the things like this, because I don't want you to shoot from full court, which I would love, but it's just a bonus for me. Professionalism. How do you defend, and how do I pick you to come here and help us right away? Because what you said too as well, the young players. Now I don't want to quote any coach because it's gonna look weird, it's gonna look awkward, but like it's a thing. It's hard in a team that's competing. It's hard. If a team is not competing, take the ball, roll it on the floor, and go play. And let me admire you. Oh, all these things, So it's very hard, very very hard. And you said the pride. The pride is. It's all about the falling place, and we all follow what it is. Either pride, either wolf pack, either whatever you want to call it. But this is the other thing about like not the new generation, because it sounds like I'm very very old, which is okay, but I'm not. But it's more of how can we cultivate this into, you say about the media, we try to give them advice and say the storytelling, all these things, and how can we get these guys to be able to come play for the Bucks, be able to come play for the Lakers, the Knicks, the any team, and say, hey, I know that you think it's fancy. I know you're supposed to. You know what should be in a PSA sign or in a sign. You're supposed to know how to do that. It's not like, oh, I can really dribble and shoot from half court. It's the NBA. It's okay. It's a lot of people that do that. What I need you to do is not get scored on. Can you do that? Yes. Can you rebound? Yes. But I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that, Mr. Brian, and thank you.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Thank you very much.
Thank
Good
you.
luck to you. See you soon.
Thank you so much, and I will see you soon because I would love for you. Obviously, I won't ask on camera, so he won't say no. To have you on maybe February or the All Star to do a segment with me.
Sure.
Or the All Star game or
Yeah,
something
sure.
because
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know it's hard. I know it's so hard. But first of all, forget about the segment. I would love you to just come visit Greece, man. Come to Greece.
I've never been to Greece.
Come to
Never
Greece.
been.
We'd
I've
love
been
to
all over
have
the
you
world, but I haven't.
anytime.
I'd love to go.
Come to Greece.
I'd love to go.
And again, thank you so much. We're across ESPN here.
Yeah,
We're
right
like
here in
this
LA.
is
Yeah.
it's amazing for us to have you on the show. And but before we go, who's going to be your MVP this year? I'm joking. Thank you guys. We'll come to another end of the show, the Thanalysis show. You guys have been amazing. Thank you guys for listening, watching. Please follow Mr. Brian on all his socials, Twitter or X, Instagram, etc. TikTok, whatever you find him. Follow Mr. Brian. Follow his stories. He's amazing. Follow his analysis. He's amazing. And please, go like, share, subscribe. Want to give a huge thank you to our sponsors, Car Bliss, Gruber Law, who's presented Thanalysis, is presented by Gruber Law, and Potawatomi Casinos and Hotels. You guys have been amazing. Analysis out.